As always, a good question. What are you doing here? What do you want? It's a question that could be on people's minds most of the time. What do you want? What do you want wherever you find yourself? What are you after? Essential to have that on mind here. What do you want? What are you doing here? That should be very, very clearly answered in your mind in 10 words or less. What are you doing here? Think about it. What do you want? If it turns into a bit of a sermon, you're lying to yourself. It's a very short sentence. What do you want? Not what do you want from life. What do you want right now? What do you want? Anybody getting close? Must be a very hard question. What do you want? Because life isn't worth a damn unless you know what you want. And you got no sense of direction unless you know where you want. Where is it that has what you want? Anybody closer? Precious lifetime is going along. What do you want? I heard it put beautifully once, a long time ago. Somebody said, you know what's burning a hole in my mind? I said, wow, yes. Wasn't an airy-fairy thinker, it was a down-home dope fiend. You can understand that. What's burning a hole in your mind? What do you want so much that you can reach out and grab it? Think of a hole being burnt in your mind, like a cigarette that's left on a tablecloth. Something burns a hole in your mind. Not having it No. You can't do that one. Nobody can talk you into not having it. Nobody's going to live through trying to take it away from you. What's the difference when you picture a lion is walking across the grass and suddenly there's a beautiful zebra? A real Dina Di Luca zebra. Do you think that lion knows what he wants? Or is he thinking over the existential conditions of mankind? With every move, he's getting closer and he's getting hungrier. And he can taste it. It smells good. Don't be between that lion and that zebra. You're going to end up with a headache. Anybody ever get that hungry? Because that's real hunger. What do you think about the person sitting next to you, who maybe seldom, if ever, feels that way? What do you think? Maybe that's what people felt like a long time ago. When you got up hungry. And you went out to get something to eat. And it was pretty possible that the price for your lunch may be your head. But the hole is being burnt. You want to have lunch. Oh, it's a pretty big elephant there. Wow. Do you want that lunch bad enough to put your life on the line for it? In fact, maybe you know somebody who's never wanted anything enough to put their life on the line. Really, life, LFE. LFE. Put their life on the line. Or even voice. Put somebody else's life on the line. Oh. We don't. Stop, please. I'm a college graduate. Come on. We don't do that. That's one of the conditions of being human. It's been erased and sandpapered, painted over and glossed over nice. It's one of the conditions of being human. if you never remember it. Maybe somewhere you heard somebody talking about it. Maybe you saw a movie, read a book. People once were hunters, just like the lion, no different. Maybe better than the lion, because lions never had thumbs, It's hard to throw a spear between your paws, It's very hard to do. What happened to desire? Like an old dream that comes somewhere when you're least thinking about it. And you hear something inside going, "Rrr, rrr. Don't come between me and that zebra." What happened when man was like that every day? Now he's only that way in some Quentin Tarantino movie. On the way to the reservoir, those guys, they're hungry for something. Was it Mr. Brown, Mr. Green? Those guys, yeah. They were pretty hungry dudes. They saw their idea of a zebra walking by, and what happened to that person? That even the thinking of it sounds unfamiliar. I don't see anybody licking their chops. Have we forgotten that part of ourselves? Wow. That sounds to me like the biggest loss in the world. That's a loss. I think if that were lost like that, you look in the mirror and you say, "Good morning, poor dead little rat. What are you going to do today?" If you feel like the loss of something, then at least that part is probably still alive. The loss of something. So that means at one point in our history, man could think of hunger as something to believe in. Believing in hunger and what will take that hunger away. Believing in that more than anything you can think of. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know what became of that entity, the hunter. The hunter got hungry, got thirsty, wanted desperately to see what was over there, past that bunch of trees. What's over there? Heard footsteps and looked. Who's that coming in my direction? Am I prepared for whatever that entity comes at me with? Am I prepared? Suppose that entity coming in my direction wants my zebra sandwich, and I'm going to have to feel all hungry again, and maybe wait a couple of days until another zebra walks by. What am I going to do about that entity that might be sniffing to take my tuna sandwich? Oh, it's going to be okay. Hey, man, how are you? Good to see you. What are you doing now? Are you sure it's going to go that way? What happened to the instinct, the primitive instinct that has a deer eating? Suddenly, he heard a sound, a small sound somewhere. And he's thinking, what is this? I don't know what this is. I better watch out and be careful, and I'm not alone here. Something made that sound. What happened to that? Did that get drummed out of people in PS 189 or something? Well, Mommy and Daddy didn't teach you that? When I say you, I mean everybody. You're representatives of a species. Everybody. Did you close the door, Martha? Yeah, put the chain on. Oh, fine. There's even a commercial where these two very nice people, intelligent, nice people, working people, honest people, they're lying in bed, and she wakes up and she says, Harry, I just heard something. Did you pay the vector premium? Yes, I did. Don't worry about it. If you have a burglar system, why worry about it? It's always somebody coming in. Don't worry about it. What was this great need that maybe took 20,000 years to overpower that need that everything is all right? You know how bad things got today? I read in the paper how bad things are. Jews have been training sharks to go to Egypt and eat up the people swimming in the water to ruin the tourist industry. For real. For real. The government of Egypt says, yes, it's those Jews. They're training the sharks. They're putting in something to do with these nice. Over here, we only used to have nice, friendly sharks that realize the tourist trade and nice beaches. Now we've got these ferocious deep water sharks. The Jews sent them over to kill us. For real. They might even break into a war or something. Who knows? No, they don't take anything that seriously. But really, today's paper. You smile. Because you read it?
No.
You haven't read it. You feel guilty?
No, I feel that it's a funny idea.
Yeah. What happened to that hunter-gatherer? The hunter was before the gatherer. Gatherers were the hunters with sciatica and lumbago and something. They became gatherers. They gathered over what was laying on the floor from the hunters. What happened to that part? And we read books and philosophies about it. And that part is doomed to be forgotten, looked over. I say if you look in the mirror and you don't see that part, I suggest, take it seriously. What happened? I ask, not rhetorically, because I don't really know. What happened? When did everybody become so nuts about peace and quiet and nice and everybody's close and the world beautiful? When did that happen? Because I've been around for like 80 some years and it hasn't happened to me yet, but maybe it's in a newspaper somewhere that I didn't get my hands on. When did this happen? When did you buy into the idea that the world is a nice place? In some dream somewhere at night, does this part of a person really rise? I'm hungry. I don't want some damn pate or some jazz. I want a real live piece of elephant with the hair on. Shaved elephant legs. Only if the elephant, is from Paris and works for a modeling house or something. What happened? What happened? Because I, for one, find it very, very, very difficult to live in a circus where it has happened. That's how safe you are, that if you made your payment to Vector Home Insurance and you got a little alarm, if they're downstairs, you don't have to worry. Vector will take care of it. Something is happening. This crazed woman is running across the room at you with an axe in her hand. Call 911. Isn't that what you do when something's going wrong? Call 911. They take care of it. The fine print says, ladies and gentlemen, we're only here to investigate crimes that have already happened. We're not here to prevent crimes. But I'm sorry. Call Vector. What happened? What happened? And even if we can't answer what happened, do we miss it? Do we miss it like a twin brother that got taken out or erased or kidnapped or died of colic or something? Oh. Will we eat anything in order to keep things peaceful? Is it hard somehow from that ancient memory from thousands of years ago to form a chain for this present man who looks in the mirror, says, I don't know, I don't like what I see. I got to go someplace, take a course on how to love myself, or have self-respect, or something. I don't know. I don't like it. Could it be that somewhere there's a deep, ancient knowledge that says, part of me is missing? I look in the mirror for that part and I can't see him. There's something wrong with that damn image. No wonder I can't like myself. How can anybody ever expect to like themselves when a great piece is missing? If you haven't eaten in 3 or 4 days, you're sitting outside. Maybe you don't even have a cave, you just got a log that there's some little room in there for you to sit. You haven't eaten in 4 or 5, well, I'll tell you. When it gets to be 7 days that you haven't eaten, call welfare, call the Red Cross, call some agency. They'll come over and they'll bring you something to eat. No wonder you look, or you, I mean, across the world. You look in that mirror and what you see there is basically a disgusting piece of meat whose essential heart is gone. Like a pastrami sandwich that's been lying on the table there for 4 days, you know. Doesn't have that old oomph. And Sheridan had oomph. And Sheridan? That doesn't mean a thing. Oh my God. Forget I asked. Pamela, you're old enough. You know who Ann Sheridan was. She was the oomph girl. Everybody knew that she had oomph. Clara Bow is different. She had it. Big difference. Some people have it, some people have oomph. Any wonder why contemporary man has a big problem stomaching himself? This work at times, certain quarters, has offered to reconnect the creature man with some very, very basic and deep and essential passions and thoughts. And it offers people to do what they can to regain this. It's not taught all that often. It's not mentioned all that often. Tie up the pieces of what you're hearing, what you're thinking, and the work is supposed to represent. For some people, they have entered the world of the fathers. One definition of the world of the fathers is that when that key turns, even if you're in bed or even say, when that key turns in the lock, the Father is home. And for the first time in the whole day, you feel safe. He's home. Nothing to even think about. He's home. Nothing to be concerned with anymore. He's home. And those who entered the world of the fathers, for those who are being fathered, are they going to have that feeling when they speak maybe 70 years from now? The world is safe when the Father walks in the door. Before that, it isn't. Your mother may try to defend you. She's not the father hunter. But once the father hunter is home, you can't be taken anymore. You can't be injured anymore. Your protector is here. You heard the door slam. Nobody alive is going to touch you. Only over his dead body. What happened to that world? Ask yourselves, what happened to it? Are you going to establish that idea in those who are yet to come and who already are new arrivals? Ma, what do you mean Dad is in Chicago? Who's going to guard the fort here? Who's going to close the door so I can feel safe? Chicago, what the hell is that? Can you make a living here? In my life, never once did the night come when my father wasn't there. Never. Never, ever, while I lived home, was that man not there for the night. I myself am not too nuts about not being home for the night. I don't do it all. From this hunter grew the soldier.